You are listening to the audio production of The Romantic Rationalist, God, Life, and Imagination in the Work of C.S. Lewis, edited by John Piper and David Mathis, published by Audiobooks. This book was originally published by Crossway and is read by Tim H. Dixon. Dedication to Campus Outreach and its partnering churches, students, staff, alumni, and supporters, building laborers on the college campus for the lost world, to the glory of God. Introduction. Half a Century Since C.S. Lewis, by David Mathis. He went quietly. It was very British. While the Americans rocked and reeled, and the world's attention turned to Dallas and the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, one Clive Staples Lewis breathed his last in Oxford just a week shy of his 65th birthday. Strangely enough, science fictionist Aldous Huxley passed the same day, and in one calendar square, 3 of the 20th century's most influential figures were gone. It was November 22nd, 1963, now more than 50 years ago. C.S. Lewis is known best for his series of 7 short fiction books, The Chronicles of Narnia, which have sold over 100 million copies in 40 languages. With 3 of the stories already becoming major motion pictures, and the 4th in the making, Lewis is as popular today as he's ever been. But even before he published Narnia in the early 1950s, he distinguished himself as a professor at Oxford and Cambridge, the world's foremost expert in medieval and Renaissance English literature, and as one of the great lay thinkers and writers in 2 millennia of the Christian Church. Discovering Truth and Joy. Good Brit though he was, Lewis was Irish, born in Belfast in 1898. He became an atheist in his teens, and stridently such in his 20s, before slowly warming to theism in his early 30s, and finally being fully converted to Christianity at age 33. And he would prove to be for many, as he was for his friend Owen Barfield, the most thoroughly converted man I ever met. What catches the eye about Lewis's star in the constellation of Christian thinkers and writers is his utter commitment to both the life of the mind and the life of the heart. He thinks and feels with the best. Lewis insisted that rigorous thought and deep affection were not at odds, but mutually supportive. And as impressive as he was in arguing for it, he was even more convincing in his demonstration. What eventually led Lewis to theism, and finally to Christianity, was what he called longing, an ache for joy with a capital J. He had learned all too well that relentless rationality could not adequately explain the depth and complexity of human life, or the textures and hues of the world in which we find ourselves. From early on, an angst gnawed at him, which one day he would express so memorably in his most well-known single book, Mere Christianity: "If I find in myself a desire which no experience in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that I was made for another world." This world and the other. Such is the heart of his genius, his spiritual genius. So few treat the world in all its detail and contour like he does, and yet so few tirelessly point us beyond this world, with all its concreteness and color and taste, with the aggression and ardor of C.S. Lewis. And so for many, his impact has been so personal. For me, it was a 6-word sentence in Lewis, "We are far too easily pleased," that popped the hood on a massive remodeling of my soul. Lewis wrote, "If we consider the unblushing promises of reward and the staggering nature of the rewards promised in the
Sample complete. Ready to continue?